Hey guys, it's Christina, and you have not seen me in quite a while. I don't post a lot of YouTube videos because I'm not much of a YouTuber myself. I like to watch other people's videos because I'm a little bit lazy on making my own. But I thought I would start my own book channel. Hopefully it goes well, and I'll post more videos if you guys like to, and if I get enough positive feedback. So, my first video is going to be about books I like. I'm trying to make this intro as short as possible so you guys don't get bored. But, alright. So hopefully you have not read these books yet, and if you have, thank you, and I hope hopefully you enjoyed them. But if you have not, I hope you go to the bookstore and pick at least one of these up. Alright? So, my first book is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I love this book so much. I passed it up so many times at the bookshelf, on the bookshelves of the bookstore. I didn't think I'd like them, but I really, really love this book. I always read the synopsis on the back. It didn't really appeal to me. And then I took a chance on it, and I am so glad, and I have never gone back since. There are 3 books in the initial series, and then there's a prequel book with a few stories of the main character, Selena, before she got into this whole tie in this story. Sarah J. Maas is a young author, and she has done phenomenally with these books, and I look forward to more of her work. She did so well with creating her own world, and her characters are very well written, and in my opinion, it's hard to find a book where they make a good own world, and I love the story, and I love the main characters. They don't overbear, right, if I'm saying it right. But I definitely check this book out, and it's absolutely phenomenal. Alright. Next book I have is Angel Fall by Susan E. It's a small book, and I usually pass up small books. I don't really, in my opinion, there are very few short books that are good, but Susan E. did so well with this book, and I was really, really surprised. I like the angel books. I like how people create their own angels and the way they see angels in books. And there are very few plot holes. She does well with tying the whole story up. And the main character, Penryn, which is the series name, Penryn and the End of Days. I believe this is going to be a trilogy. I am not sure. But I hopefully, whenever she ends it, she will end it where we don't get our hearts broken. I really enjoy the way she made her angels, and it is set in California. Surprisingly, I have not read very many books set in California, but it's a modernized book. It's post-apocalyptic, and I guess that's all I have to say. It's phenomenal. Check it out. It's hard to find in bookstores. I checked a couple of them, and I didn't find it, so I had to order it online. But definitely check this out. It is great. The next book I have is, you probably saw it when I was picking it up, Cinder by Marissa Meyer. This is another book that I passed by on the shelves so many times because I saw Cyborg. I'm not really into cyborgs. I want a human. But I'm really, really glad that I picked this up because I heard a lot of positive feedback on this book, and I gave it a chance because I didn't have anything else to read, again, and I got so into this book, and it was the first book in quite a while that I finished quickly. I have a hard time finishing books quickly because I want to kind of simmer in the story. I have a hard time changing stories. I love the story. The main character's name is Cinder. but I really, really like it. It is set in a world called, well, it's on Earth, but Cinder lives in New Beijing. It is also kind of a post-apocalyptic world, but they've built back society, and they're having issues with people from the moon, which then they now call Luna, because there's a new race on the moon that they call Luna. Lunar. They call them Lunars, and nobody really likes Lunars. Nobody wants Lunars on Earth, and so it's almost it's a Cinderella-based story. The first 3 books, and also the fourth, I'm guessing. I'm not sure. Fourth book is going to make out of which fairy tale, but this one is Cinderella. The second one is Little Red Riding Hood, and the third one is Rapunzel. She does so well with creating her own stories out of these fairy tales. She doesn't grip tight onto those fairy tales. She really does well with creating new characters and new situations. I really love it. And there's a really bad virus that's going around. So, check this out. Do it. Marissa Meyer. Next book, I'm going to say, is Graceling. I haven't read this book in quite a while. You can't see it with the light. Graceling. It is by Kristin Cashore, and it's a trilogy. I guess you could say it's a trilogy, but each book is almost a standalone, I guess I could say. It doesn't really matter which book you start with. There's Graceling, there's Fire, and there's Bitterblue. You could start with any 3 books. I personally suggest you start with Graceling. But if you don't start with Graceling, I suggest start with Fire. Because Bitterblue has characters in these books, and you'll kind of be confused. You might be confused, but I mean, if you start with Bitterblue, that's not a problem. It's also a medieval kind of time, but it is a different kind of world. Graceling, Gracelings are people with graces. They have 2 different colored eyes. Excuse me. They have 2 different other eyes, and if you have those, you have a grace. You have to kind of figure out what your grace is, but nobody really likes people with graces, so they're looked down upon. That nobody really likes them. But the girl in this book, oh gosh, I forget her name. I'm a terrible person. Katza. Her name is Katza. It's been a while since I read this book. Katza, I love her. She's so hardcore. And I love the way she deals with her situations and whatnot. But at the end, she becomes a stronger person. And I love it. I love this book. If you guys want me to talk about the other books in this trilogy, feel free to let me know down below. Alright? Next book. Oh, this is one of my most favorite books also. Grave Mercy. There are 3 books in this story. Each book is told from 3 different girls, but it's all tied up into one story. The author, Robin Lefevers, she puts her story into real historical events of a duchess, and they are having a feud with France. But there are these girls who are daughters of Mortain, or Death is who he's known as. And they're kind of assassin nuns, and it's great. That kind of caught me off guard. I wasn't sure if I was going to enjoy assassin nuns, but right now I'm wishing I was an assassin nun. They have hardcore moves, and there are so many great books. If you are a feminist, you will love these books, because she did. Lefevers does so well with the female characters. There's no Mary Sue. She ties the story together very well. I just finished the 3rd book, Mortal Hearts. It was great. And each book in the series just gets better. And you know it's hard to find a series where each sequel gets better. But Lefevre does super, super well with that in these books. So really, please check them out, because I haven't really heard many people who know of these books other than hardcore readers. So please check these out if you haven't read them. You will love them, and they're pretty thick. So you'll have a lot of a story to get through. Alright. My last book is the Mortal Instruments series. Now, I don't have the first book on me because I lent it to a friend, but I do have the second book on me. I have the entire series, but my first one is lent out to a friend. But it is by Cassandra Clare, and I'm fairly sure that you probably heard of it because they made a movie out of it. I'm really embarrassed of the movie, but that will be another talk. This book is really, really good. It's not my top favorite, but it's one of my favorites. These books are set in New York City in a modern time. I believe it starts in the early 2000s. There's a girl named Clary, and she's just living a normal life, just like a lot of book characters. And she finds these teenagers who murder somebody, and that's not too much of a spoiler because it's in the synopsis. But in the synopsis of the first book. Now, the second book. The first book is City of Bones. So if you do start this series, if you haven't already, go for City of Bones. There are these demon hunters called Shadow Hunters, and oh my goodness, phenomenal. I want to be a demon hunter. I want to tattoo myself with awesome runes that give me powers. That would be epic, alright? But this book series is pretty famous. I have heard good and bad things about them. I personally like them, but they're about, gosh, there's a lot of books in this series, along with, there's about 6 books in this series, and then there are 3 books in kind of a pre-series that was set in a time before these took place. Infernal Devices. Also, phenomenal books. I love them. And it doesn't matter which series you start first. As long as, if you start one of the series, you start with the first book. That is important. All you book readers know that, or you'll be confused. But I really, really like these books. Please, please, check out these books. They are phenomenal. I love them. Look how pretty they are. Oh. Yeah, read all of these. If you read them, I will give you my firstborn child, and that means absolutely nothing because I don't want one. Here you go. I will give you all a penny if you read these books. All of them, though. You have to read all of them to get your penny. Alright? So, if you enjoyed my video, let me know down below. This is kind of a first video, rough draft kind of thing. So, if I do make more videos, I'm sure they will get much better, I promise. And hopefully my hair will look better. But I will always be messy haired. That's just one of my flaws. But hopefully you guys will like my video. Tell your friends to watch this video and read these books, please. Alright? So, I'll see you. Let me know if you liked the video. If you do, comment down below. If you've read the books, let me know what you thought. If you didn't like them, that's absolutely okay. But don't tell people that they're terrible. That they are terrible. Tell them that you think they were terrible. Because everyone has different opinions. Yay, disclaimer. But let me know what you think of the books in the video down below. I babble a lot. I apologize. Hopefully, these videos will get better. Alright, bye.